Good evening, friends. Hello, namaste. Thank you so much for joining us today as well, especially on a Teachers' Day. And I wish all the teachers a very happy Teachers' Day. I'm sure we all are teachers in a way, to our kids, to our colleagues. So, very happy Teachers' Day to all of us. So now, being a career coach and an NLD professional, I have always met people, students, professionals who are, maximum time I found them confused, unaware, and some very determined about what their career has to be. Now, moreover, these individuals today, when I go to see the youth today, they have a lot of information about various industries, but still they are unaware about what to expect, what to do in the jobs, what are the growth opportunities, what kind of roles and responsibilities would be there, a profile would hold. So with this program, I intend to attempt a small, short attempt that I'm making here to bring people from different industries and share their insights, their knowledge, and give you an insight about what kind of roles, what kind of responsibilities, what kind of positions, growth opportunities are there in that industry. And with this in mind, I welcome Dr. Subhashis Chakraborty. He's a director and key accounts manager from a pharmaceutical company, and not just a pharmaceutical company, a renowned, German-based pharmaceutical company. And I'm sure Subhashis will give us more details about it actually here. So it's a company which is Germany specialty chemical company, right?
Yeah.
Right. And let me, before I go out with all the questions and all with you guys, let me tell you, Subhashis is not only just a person who's handling a team, being a director of key account manager and all, but he's also an author and has written a lovely book. Yeah, I don't have the book right as of now. I'll definitely get that for you. However, let me tell you, the book is called as Happiness Decoded. And right as the name suggests, it definitely decodes the smallest and simplest way you can always stay happy. Right? So the simplistic reality is keeping it alive. We'll move on to a few details now as to what our program is all about. So I would request you, Subhashis, to please tell us about, for the starters, to just tell us about your journey, from your education to being, where you are today, a director in a company, handling the key accounts management. So how has the journey been for you, and what is it for you?
Okay, so thank you, Tanushree, for the invitation. So I hope I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So it's actually a pleasure and honor to be a part of your show, Tanushree. So thanks for the cordial invitation, and I'm really excited to be along with you, answering your questions. So as far as my journey is concerned, I think when you talk about where I started with and where I am today, a few things which comes into my mind is a particular day when I'll just it comes down on my mind. It was after my 10th. I just completed my 10th class, and it was from a very small town in Odisha named as Brajaraj Nagar, and the school name was Shiksha Niketan. So feeling proud about that school. So I came out of it and I got very, very good marks, because of which I got a chance to have admission in Odisha's #1 college. It is still, I think, #1 BJB college. Okay, and it was the first time I left my home and I went over there with my father, and we both were very busy the entire day to take the admission. And I was also supposed to stay in the hostel, so the hostel admissions and everything was over for and then me and my father were sitting in a big room with 40 more classmates who were supposed to be my classmates with their parents, and we were waiting for our professor who was responsible to take charge of us. He's a very renowned professor, Professor P.N. Panda. So probably he has retired by now. We were all waiting for him, excited to hear him, because we knew he's a very reputed person. So then he came in after some time, and I know he spoke a lot because he speaks a lot. But one thing which I still remember, I don't remember anything else. Only one thing which I remember is that he said that children, you have all topped in your classes, and you're tremendous students. You're very good. That's the reason that you got a chance to come over to such a reputed and a premier institute of Odisha. uh, but you know what, that now, now you are all the same. Yeah, so the entire thing has been neutralized, and now you have to again accelerate from here, go to the next level. Okay, and again look for neutralization. So he said that this basically this process of learning, excelling, and then neutralizing again, it's a cycle. And the more uh, you follow this cycle, the more you come across these cycles in your life, your life is going to be more meaningful. So I think that I was quite young at that point of time, I mean, as you can imagine. But yes, that was something which was imbibed in my subconscious mind. And I think because of that particular thought process, I grew up taking uncommon decisions, and and many a time challenging my comfort zone. So if I talk about that, uh, I think I was maybe one among thousands, or maybe millions, who must have taken a decision to do B Farm or pharmacy, or take up pharmacy as a career on his own. Usually people, they are referred, or their parents say that okay, there is nothing, so go for this. But I was the person who, I'm still proud of the decision which I took. And I told my dad that, yeah, I want to go for pharmacy because this is something which I want to do, despite the fact that all my colleagues all were all geared up for medical and engineering. So I never thought that, and I'll do that. So after that, after I did my B Farm, it was just on the verge of completion, where all my friends were looking out for some jobs. Mostly the sales kind of job, which you usually hear of. But I was busy preparing for my further higher education. And unfortunately, I gave the gate exam. I got very good rank. It's still a kind of a benchmark in the college which I studied. And then I got a chance to study in BHU, in the pharmacy department of Banaras Hindu University. After that, I was fortunate to get a job in a very reputed pharma company as a formulation development scientist. For almost 3 years, I was working there. And Tanushri, I would like to admit here that those 3 years I was like, I was doing very well. Okay, and I mean, salary wise, work, exposure, and the team which I used to work with, very good. But in those 3 years, I took a decision after those 3 years that I'll leave the job and go for a full-time PhD. So that was the boldest decision which I have taken till date, because I was not. I mean, I would have left all my salary over there and then go for a full-time PhD, where the stipend was not guaranteed. Okay, so I had to fight for it for at least a year, and then probably I would have got something. So then, after the PhD was finished, it's usually, I mean, you may not know about this. It's usually the pharma guys who do PhD. Their dream is to work in a top pharma company. Okay, I know, maybe as a research scientist, they take pride in that, that they would go for patents, publications, and stuff like that. Whereas, after the end of PhD, I did not miss an opportunity which came in my hand, and I went for a technical service position, which was, of course, quite a big position to handle the Asia South region. And I took a completely diversified portfolio. I mean, without even thinking twice that whether I should do this or should not do. I mean, and to be honest, there were many critics at that point of time who said that you are such a person with such a background, why you're going to go into a techno commercial background, you're going to change your stream altogether. But something which I felt like what I'm doing is right, and then they moved ahead. And for the past 10 years, I've been in this particular industry, but to be honest, I've never let myself to settle down. I have kept on changing my roles and responsibilities, starting from a techno-commercial role to a business development, and now a PhD guy. Sometimes I make a joke of myself that I'm a PhD person without an MBA, and now I'm into sales and service. So that is something which is, what do I say? I mean, it's interestingly interesting for me. And honestly speaking, I'm enjoying a bit of it, and I've enjoyed the entire journey. And there's still a lot to come. A lot of many changes, which I'm very open, because all these things have made me fearless to take up anything which comes across in the future. So that's how it has been.
Wow, so quite travel that you have made for yourself, from a full-timer to a full-time education, again going for PhD, then again moving back to work, and that too changing your roles. I mean, so when we talk about pharmacy, the first thing that it comes to the mind is, okay, you will have a shop, you will be a pharmacist, you will be delivering medicines, or maybe you are doing some kind of research on some kind of medicine with some kind of a company. So for you, I mean, you being the insider, you have so many roles which you mentioned that you have already gone through, various different roles. So what do you feel that anybody who wants to be a part of this industry today, he or she should prepare for, mentally, what kind of an image that they should have for this organization, for this field, what kind of roles and responsibilities can they expect, what is it that they have to look out for? Because what I have personally experienced in my life is, when you talk about a job responsibility or a role, they just know that okay, this is a tag. So maybe a sales manager, or an executive, or an assistant. So we know that tag, but we do not know the entire details of it. So what a person who's wanting to make it big in this industry should expect, what kind of roles, responsibilities, what? I think we just missed Subhashish. I will just get him back. So just please stay with me, guys. Don't go anywhere. There could be a small error in the network. So we'll just wait for Subhashish to join us back. Don't worry on it. So meanwhile, Subhashish joins us. I'm sure he's there.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So what can we expect in this industry?
Okay. So first, let me tell you that I mean, today there is a Baba, Google Baba, where you can go and find out lot many things. Okay, so that gives you all the information. But let me tell you one thing, that as far as pharma is concerned, pharma is no more close bound industry, that it used to happen, or people used to think a shop, or maybe a small research, or drugs, medicines. It's beyond that. I mean, it is today the pharmacy industry has expanded significantly, and has ramified to a level where it has created new dimension in different forms. Okay, so if I try to make it easier, pharmacy in core is of course related to medicines and all related stuff related to it. I mean, manufacturing, development, and then quality control, quality assurance, and then you have the research, of course, part to it, manufacturing, packaging, and then logistics, customer service. These are the basic things which are working. Then pharmacovigilance, because there is analysis associated with it, which could be the synthetic analysis, or it could be the bioanalysis. Okay, so the clinical pharmacy. So these are basically the core pharmacy. Okay, but the interesting thing is that today pharmacy has grown, and pharmacists are required in other domains also, which people ignore. Okay, say for example, legal. Okay? Legal. I have seen people who have done pharmacy. I have my own friends, okay, who have done pharmacy masters, okay, and then they have gone for a law, and they are in tremendous requirement. Okay, the one or two people, they rule the entire company. e-commerce. Okay, e-commerce platform is booming now. Okay, and pharmacy is already a part of it. Okay,
Yeah.
there are logistics. Okay, customer service. Pharmacy people are also into that, because it's not, you're not just handling toys. Yeah, you are handling lifetime, those things which require a lot of quality control, a lot of caution in handling, right? So you need such kind of people who can manage those things. Okay, cosmetics. Okay, cosmetics is nowhere just to beautify, it is also related to medicines. There is a lot of, I mean, what we call it as cosmeceuticals, where pharmaceutics is involved in it. Nutra. Okay, it's no more related to, it is also related to pharmacy, because there is nutraceuticals today. Okay, software, development of software. Okay, I mean, crazy use of software in pharma industry. Who manufactures? Of course, IT people, but do they understand what they are developing? They don't understand. They have pharmacists sitting aside them, and know who. I mean, if you go to Infosys, Wipro, you see so many pharmacy people involved. I have so many of my friends who are working in Wipro, Infosys, and all stuff like that. They've gone abroad, with this. So now I think I'm trying to open up the mind here to understand that pharmacy is no way a four walled system where you can just think about medical representative or opening a shop. I mean, it's not that I'm demeaning those. Those are the critical and the basic things on which the entire pharmacy is built. Okay, today what we have and what is being sold is because of those medical representatives. Okay, they do fantastic job, although they slog a lot. Okay, they are maybe paid. I mean, I don't want to enter into that part, but they are the ones who are representing pharmacy to the medical profession. Okay, the medical profession is may not be be able to understand what's going on in pharma, or may not be able to prescribe without the presence of these medical representatives. They do an incredible job. But having said this, okay, it's not that it is limited to medical representatives. I mean, basically for the youngsters today, the research part has significantly increased to a level where it's not just research related to in the private companies. It's also in government institutes. There's so much of grant being released by DBT, DST. Okay, and I mean, it's in crores. Okay, colleges are being funded a lot. So teaching is also something which is, I mean, researchers are being supported by the government in order to propagate the research in pharmacy. So overall, it's a big dimension. It's a very, very big dimension. Okay, I mean, we just need to understand it. Maybe people who want to really get down into this particular field needs to get connected with the right people. Okay, to get the right guidance, rather than just understanding, this is just a course where I can get a graduation and then start something. I mean, it's not like that. Okay, it's actually huge.
Wow, that was really insightful, and that's exactly why we are talking and discussing this. So, as you said, so it's
and one
just
more thing.
not.
One more thing is that I mean, it's also about the industry which I belong to right now. Okay, because there are a lot of companies which are also required to support the pharma company, because they use a lot of material. They use a lot of softwares. They use a lot of equipments. So you need companies who can manufacture those and supply those on a regular basis with the required quality. So that's what the specialty chemical companies, the API companies, equipment manufacturing companies does. That's another big area. Okay, so I mean, don't underestimate the potential of pharma. It's wonderful. It's a major part of healthcare today.
Wow. So it's the base of healthcare, if I have the right to say that. So because without it, I don't think any healthcare products will always be there, anyways be there in the market. So that's what the pharmaceutical industry is doing. So as you mentioned, there are so many ceuticals that has been involved today. So yeah, that's really insightful, Subhashis. And when you are saying this, very rightly said that whoever wants to be a part of this industry should really get to talk to an insider and come to know about what all can he or she expect. So with that thing in mind, what would you advise a person, he or she who's seeking to build a career in this industry, to work on, skills, abilities, education? what is it, as a package? What should they work on?
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, to answer this, I think the basic criteria always remains the same. I mean, if you want to prepare for pharma or for anything, okay, whatsoever it could be. I mean, it could be for journalism also. You have to toil. You have to get through the everything. But what I would specifically speak of is the mindset. Okay, so if you really think that pharma is important, you have to make you have to match it at par with medical and engineering, and that is what it is worth of. Okay, so most people, they just take it for granted. That's the reason that they struggle in their in the later part of their journey when they get down to job. Okay, but at the initial stage itself, if you see a doctor, okay, I mean, under the MBBS program, he's getting trained. He's not a doctor, but he is getting trained academically. But imagine the kind of pride that he holds, that yes, I am going to become an MBBS. An engineer, I'm going to become an engineer, right? That is what is required. I am going to be a pharmacist.
So you are saying that people usually don't take that pride, that joy to become somebody. It's just like the mentality which has been that, okay, there's nothing more that I can do. I'm not getting any stream. This is the only thing which is left for me. Let me take it up. But
Exactly.
I'm saying it is not just that, it is the base of the entire industry, and they should equally be prideful about, they should equally have that pride in their hearts that, I am becoming a pharmacist, or I'm getting into that pharmaceutical industry, and, that kind of an
Absolutely.
attitude and epitome they should reach in their minds. That,
You use
this
the
is where
right word. It's attitude. Okay, it's attitude that yes, I'm holding something. I'm going to become something which is going to contribute significantly to the social upliftment, and at the same time, I'm going to pick up a career which is going to be very, very good, supporting. It's actually a support system, okay, for the medical fraternity. But at the same time, what is important to understand here is that we need to have the right amount of passion, energy to pursue this, because it takes time. I mean, if you compare it with engineering, 4 years could be sufficient, but for pharmacy, it's not possible. 4 years is just the beginning. It's like 10 plus 2. So this is a life science related. You're going to deal with something which goes into human life. So you have to get trained. You need to have patience. You need to carry out multiple projects. So today, if you go to industries, masters is a minimum qualification for entering into research. Minimum. And I'm saying you, it's what I said is 5 years back. Today, a PhD is very important. Okay, so if you have the patience, okay, if you really have the patience and you have that courage to take it forward, and everything is that, I mean, mentally you're fit for it. Okay, there cannot be a better option than pharmacy today. Because I can give you some ideas here, because when it comes to medical, it takes a long time. I mean, I can give my personal opinion. There's not a generalization of thoughts here, but I did not go for medical because I knew that there are multiple things which has to be done. Okay, in order to prove myself that yes, I'm a good doctor. Okay, but when it comes to a course like pharmacy, you have 4 years plus 2, and then you have a 3 or 4 years of PhD, and then you have a doctorate. Okay, so the systems here are quite concrete. Okay, and the future is big, because healthcare industry is such that it will never come down.
True.
So if I want to suggest someone, okay, I would say that please have patience, because it's going to take time. Okay, I mean, no one is going to take anything for granted, because this field is like that. Okay,
Correct.
no one can take. I mean, today even MBBS is also probably not accepted, right?
Right.
We also want to go and get a treatment. We say whether he's an MD or a surgeon, or no, what is his super specialization?
Correct. Specialty.
So that's where the specialty comes in. And for sure, and it's of course initially 4 or 5 years of extra work with respect to engineering, but I can tell you that later on it pays off, and it pays off tremendously. And I'm talking from my own life. Okay, the journey which I have seen, what I have, people responding to me, I interacting with people, it's completely a different ball game altogether. Okay, but yes, you need to have patience, you need to understand the industry, you need to have the passion to take it up, and you need to also keep it at par with those two medical and engineering profession. Okay.
So you have to believe in this profession when you are into it. So that's what you are saying. I completely get that. Subhashish, one thing which I'm really eager to know, everybody faces challenges in their lives and every industry has its ups and downs. So I'm sure you also have experienced it in your career, in your life. So anything, in particular that you feel in pharmaceutical industry, there could be, some challenges which people should be aware of and they should work towards those. Like what you said is patience. You just not lose hope and you have to be patiently working towards it. But is there anything specific that they should look out for in this industry, be aware or be prepared about?
Okay, so challenges, I mean, I can talk about my challenges, okay, but not that everyone. I mean, you'll have your own challenge, I will have, because the permutation and combination of challenges are quite unique. It's like fingerprints. Okay, your challenges never match mine, and you cannot match my challenges anytime. Okay, so so one thing which probably if I try to summarize it, rather than picking up challenges what I came across, but on a very general basis, I'd like to share a small story, which I have also written in my book, Happiness Decoded, and that's related to I mean, since you have read the book, the the story. It's related to a very ambitious frog. Yeah, so the frog. During its childhood days, used to stay somewhere where there was a big tree in front of its house. Okay, so he's always had the eagerness to. He was very passionate to reach to the top of the frog, so that he wanted to see everything from the top. Very eager, but he was too small to climb it. So he waited. He took some time, and when it was a bit strong on its own limbs. Then he decided to take the jump. Okay, and then he started climbing the tree. So when people saw him climbing the tree, I mean, not people, the other frogs. Okay, so other frogs they joined there and they started shouting at the frog, "Why are you doing this? You'll fall, and you have your parents here. You will feel hurt. Don't do this. Please get down. You're my good friend," and all those stuff. But this frog, okay, he used to see down and he used to go up. He used to see his friends shouting at him and he used to go up. And in this process, after some time, he reached the top and he was very happy. Then he came down. Okay, and he came down and everyone was like, again they were all jumping here and there. There was one senior frog, okay, senior frog who came and patted the back of this frog and said that, "Hey, you really deserve to be patted. You have done an incredible job. You tell me one thing. We all were shouting that you should not go, and I mean, it was like we wanted to bring you down, but what actually made you that you went up and you achieved your desire?" Frog was actually did not respond. You know why? Because he was deaf. Okay.
I think we use this parable mostly in our trainings at times. So,
okay. Yeah. So I think if I want to achieve something of what I want, I have to shut this, and just keep this open. I think that's the mantra. I mean, if anyone wants to go, if there is a desire, there'll always be challenges. It could be people oriented, it could be situational, whatever it could be. But there'll always be a possibility where you are brought down in order to maintain your comfort zone. Okay, but if you keep on listening to those things, I think it is very difficult to climb up. And as I mentioned in the early discussion, there were many people who were doing a lot of things which was in the trodden path, but I chose something which was different. Okay, and I know that when there is a difference, it takes a lot of courage. There are a lot of problems which I have to face, but that's actually what makes life interesting. That is the basic thing. I mean, there is no rocket science here, but this is basically what I do. And I suggest anyone, or I recommend anyone, advise whatever you take it. Sometimes I've ordered some people also who were, I saw at the verge of crumbling down. Just do this. Okay, go for it. So that's what will pick you and take you up. Otherwise, there is nothing that can stop anyone. It's only the internal fear and keeping the ears open and listening to what people say, because people will of course say, because they have not done it. They are also saying good things for you, right? They also, since they have never seen it, they're saying good. Oh, please, you also don't do. You will also face those challenges. So, but if your fire is ignited, I think it's better not to listen to people who have not done, rather than follow people who have done it.
Right.
And
So,
those people who have done it are very few in numbers.
so when I have students or parents coming to me and asking about what kind of profession should these people choose, I always tell them this one important thing, that please do not come and ask me, or don't give guidance to the kids. Instead, let them explore the industry and ask it from the person who is in that industry. Because
Exactly.
the best insight will be coming from that person itself, not from anybody else. So
Right.
what is the job role? What are the opportunities? Apart from, as an outsider from the industry, I might have an idea, but I might not have the internal concepts about it, which an
Right.
insider can provide. So,
Absolutely.
all said and done,
Maybe one
Subhashis, it's
thing,
very.
just one thing here. I mean, when we talk about taking up career, I mean, there are multiple plethora of career opportunities, and the basic thing is that we. I mean, even I have also done that, but now I can talk about it because I've come across that we basically spend a lot of unnecessary time in picking up career which is good and which is bad. Okay, but actually it is not the case. Every career option has got a potential. It's up to us how we take it and how we take it forward for, I mean, make it beneficial for us. Otherwise,
Right.
everything is good.
True that. So unless and until you find your calling, that is where you have to. So whatever you have chosen, you have to find your calling to it. And once you have got it, then there is no stopping you, I
Looking,
believe.
no looking back.
Great. So, thank you so much, Subhashish, for giving us these insights. And definitely, yes, the information, how to move on and not listen to the negativity, and just, keep focused on what you want to achieve and just go on. With this, yes, before we come to an, close of the session and all, there is one more thing which I wanted to understand from you is, as per today, this COVID situation and all this pandemic happening worldwide and everything, do you think that pharmaceutical industry still has scope? There is still a lot of opportunities. What is it, one should, the job seekers, the professionals should keep in mind to ensure stability in their roles in today's day, especially in this, pandemic situation?
Okay. So, so when it comes to job, nothing is stable. Okay, so that's another story. Okay, but but yeah, I mean, as far as this particular situation, this extraordinary situation that the entire world is going through, so this actually has turned out to be a boon for the healthcare industry. Okay, so there are few industries which are actually, I mean, others are surviving, but there are few industries which are actually growing. Okay, one is the essential services. Second is the e-commerce platform. Everything is online. And third is the healthcare. Okay, so despite the fact that there are people getting, I mean, they're resigning or being asked to resign or whatever is the situation, but in healthcare it's just the opposite. We require people. To be honest, during this healthcare, we were busy supporting the healthcare because their requirements, their manufacturings and all, everything has increased. Okay, so healthcare, if I talk only about healthcare, so this is a ever growing industry, because disease will always be there and cure is required. Okay, so although you talk to people that please take care of their health, but they would take care of their health by consuming medicines. Okay, so that's where the pharmacy and the medical profession comes in place. So I mean, this is actually a good field. because of all the dimensions which I spoke, multiple things which can be taken care of. One platform where you can utilize your inner potential in different, I mean, if I talk about legal, some people may have a very nice negotiation skill. Okay. So they can take up legal. Some are very good at software, they can go for software. Some people are very good at research, they can be in. So so many things which can be done. Okay? I mean, rather than just getting fixed into a stereotype job, right? So plethora of activities. And to be honest, there are multinational companies who also give opportunities for shifting roles. So say for example, I have shifted roles. I mean, from technical to business development to sales and service. So they give that platform. Okay, you may not become a specialist, but come to know about multiple things, and you have a bird's overview of what's exactly happening all across. You're able to connect the dots together. You have the capability of doing it. So overall, I think that the healthcare industry is a tremendous platform, but it only applies for those who are passionate, who have the energy to pursue that and have patience, okay, and are looking at this as one of the equivalent platforms similar to the medical and the engineering. Okay, so there is no look back in this particular field.
That's awesome, Subhashis. Thank you so much for this insight into the pharmaceutical industry. I'm sure the viewers would have taken something back with them and definitely might have opened their minds about this industry. The passion that you have shown. So I'm sure it's very catchy, and people will definitely research more about pharmaceuticals now. Great.
Great.
So with this, I would just like to ask you one last thing, that is, your theory that you have put in your book, The Happiness Decoded, which is also available on Amazon, I believe. So, from that, any one thing that you would suggest? I mean, everything connects to your industry and every industry because I've read the book, and I feel that it should be read by each and every person because it has a lot of, important ideas and concepts about being happy. But one thing from that book which you feel that each and every person should definitely practice and follow so that they can have a happy life.
Correct. Okay. So I have a pretty straightforward answer to that, because some at some point of time I got stuck and today I'm out of it. Okay, so and that's actually brought happiness for me. So that's basically about connected with learning. Okay, so what we feel is that what I know is the best, but to be honest, I'm zero. There is so much of information and knowledge across, okay, that you'll go crazy getting those. And the people who actually imbibe knowledge, okay, I'm not talking about people who listen. Okay, there is a lot of stuff in the market. You go to WhatsApp, you go to Google and everything. You got a lot of quotes, energetic, a lot of motivational speakers. All those things are there. It's good. But the question is that when you are listening those, are you really listening, or you're imbibing that? Are you seeking information? That is what I called as the art of learning. There is art of living, but for me, it is art of learning. What is the mechanism that I'm using for learning? Am I learning, or am I listening just for it, or have I emptied my mind and learning new stuff? Am I giving space to the person who is talking? Okay, so once this is mastered, okay, the life becomes quite easy, because in this process, we have one thing, a very wonderful, interesting word called as ego. It has multiple dimensions. You will never know that you have an ego, but you say I'm egoless.
Sure.
Okay? You will never be able to find out. Okay, but this is something. The more you give away, I can guarantee you, a person cannot be 100% egoless. Somewhere or the other, there would be a small shit of it. But the problem is that if you, or the solution is that if you keep on releasing this, Okay, you keep on and accept that yes, there are people more than me. There are many more things which I can learn. Okay, because when I talk, I don't get anything, but when I listen, I gain. So my fundamental stuff is that I would like to listen, not just listen, but to imbibe it within myself so that at one point of time I can implement it for my own betterment. And when I grow, okay, I may be selfish to grow, okay, but the outcome of it is that if I am growing, there are people also watching me. I mean, it's up to them whether they are jealous of me or they get inspired by me. Yeah, if they are inspired by me, that means I cannot stop growing because I need to show them the next level 2, level 3 of where they can grow. So I think this is a very fundamental thing, that if I just take care of myself, okay, I think we have given a big contribution to the world development. If I'm back. Am I back?
You are back.
Okay. So that's what I mean. Rather than interfering in people's lives, just take care of yourself. Okay, take care of your happiness. Take care of your health, your knowledge. Okay, your spirituality, and your smile.
Wow,
That's it.
That was amazing, because you got a gist of everything which is required for a person to to stay happy. So just learn, just imbibe, implement, keep working on your own strengths, and just keep on improving. And leave the others. So if they want to, as you said, want to be jealous or want to be inspired, that's up to you, but you have to continue that journey. Lovely talking to you, Subhashish, and thank you so much for the insights. I'm sure we can definitely have more such sessions in future and more such discussions. All right, thank you everyone, thank you for watching.
And thank
We'll
you,
be back
Tanushree, for this
again.
invitation. It was also wonderful talking to you, and I think I could have contributed something for the development of people here. So thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely,
Thanks,
yes. Most welcome. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.